Have you ever wondered why the ancient Egyptians went to such extraordinary lengths to preserve their dead? It wasn't just about a fancy burial. For them, death wasn't an end, but a spectacular beginning, a journey to a whole new life. And the key to that journey was the incredible art of mummification. More than 4,000 years ago, the Egyptians perfected this complex practice. They held a profound belief that every person had a soul made up of two parts, the Ka and the Ba. Think of the Ka as your life force, and the Ba as your unique personality. For these spiritual parts to reunite and live on forever in the afterlife, they needed a physical body to come home to. Without a preserved body, the soul would be lost, wandering aimlessly for eternity. So mummification wasn't just a tradition. It was an essential ticket to immortality. It was a sacred promise that the deceased would be reborn in the field of reeds, the Egyptian paradise. So how did they pull off this incredible feat of preservation? The process was a masterpiece of science, ritual, and art, typically taking about 70 days from start to finish. It all began with a team of specialized priests who knew the human body inside and out. The first, and perhaps most delicate step, was removing the brain. Using long hooked instruments, they would carefully extract the brain tissue through the nostrils. To the Egyptians, the brain was just filler, so they didn't see a need to preserve it. The heart, however, was a different story. They believed it was the seat of intelligence, emotion, and memory, the very essence of a person. It was so important that it was almost always left inside the body, ready to be weighed against the father of truth in the final judgment. After dealing with the brain, the priest would make a small incision on the left side of the abdomen. Through this opening, they would carefully remove the internal organs, the lungs, the liver, the stomach, and the intestines. These organs were individually washed, dried, and preserved, then placed into their own special containers called canopic jars. Each jar was protected by one of the 4 sons of the god Horus, ensuring the organs were safe for the afterlife. With the body now empty, the real preservation could begin. The entire cavity was cleaned and sterilized, and then the body was completely covered, inside and out, with a natural salt called natron. This was the crucial drying stage. For about 40 days, the natron would pull every last bit of moisture from the tissues, preventing decay and leaving the body perfectly desiccated. Once the 40 days of drying were complete, the shrunken, leathery body was ready for the final stages. It was carefully washed once more and anointed with fragrant oils and resins to make the skin more supple. The empty torso was then packed with linen, sawdust, or other materials to restore a more lifelike shape. This was a crucial step to ensure the Ba'i would recognize its physical form. Now the wrapping began. This wasn't just a matter of quickly winding some bandages. It was an intricate, ritualistic process. Hundreds of yards of fine linen strips were used, with each limb, finger, and toe wrapped individually. As the priests wrapped, they would recite magical spells and tuck protective amulets between the layers. These small charms, like the famous scarab beetle or the ankh, were meant to ward off evil spirits and provide special powers to the deceased on their perilous journey through the underworld. Finally, after layers upon layers of linen were applied and sealed with warm resin, the mummy was complete. A painted mask, often resembling the face of the deceased, was placed over the head and shoulders. This served as another way for the soul to identify its body. The finished mummy was then placed inside a series of nested coffins, each one beautifully decorated with hieroglyphs, spells from the Book of the Dead, and images of gods and goddesses. The outermost coffin, or sarcophagus, was a work of art in itself. The entire ensemble was then taken to its final resting place, a tomb filled with everything the person would need in the next world. Food, drink, furniture, clothes, tools, and even beloved pets were buried alongside them. For the ancient Egyptians, mummification was far more than a burial custom. It was a profound spiritual technology, a bridge they built between the world of the living and the promise of an eternal paradise. It was their ultimate expression of hope, a testament to their belief that life in its truest form never really ends. Thanks so much for exploring this incredible piece of history with me today. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.